Hey, what's going on, y'all? This was long overdue, long awaited. It's your boy TreDay, Big G before on God, all the way from Huntsville, Alabama, and I'm checking in with Industries Most Wanted. Let's get it!
Time after time, I reach my hand out, I ain't get nothing back. Time after time, I fell out with people, ain't with no strings attached. Too many times I gave people chances, but they stabbed me in the back. I ain't got time for no more swings, I just look like, what is that? So many nights I turn over in my sleep and realize nobody for me, I don't even need you.
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live. Where are we at, TreDay?
Hey, we at Industries Most Wanted, man. Let's get it.
You better tell them the big one, not the little one.
Yeah.
Shout out to TreDay in the building today. What is going on, family? How you doing?
How you doing? I'm blessed.
Give me some love first and foremost. Boom. It's good to see you.
Oh, yeah. Long overdue.
Super long overdue. We've done work together. You've been out multiple times to perform at me and OG's showcases, and we definitely grateful for that. But without further ado, tell us who TreDay is, where you checking in from, what you got going on.
Hey, man, it's your boy TreDay, Big G before on God. Listen, I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. I've had like a networking connection with Tampa for a long time, and just highly blessed and flavored to be here. And I feel good, and I'm excited.
I know that's right. Well, listen, this was highly anticipated. We have a lot to talk about. We got a lot to cover today, and you're going to be doing a mic drop performance.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to SBZ Media in the building. Is going to film that for you. You know, he's over there behind the lens right now getting all that good footage. But let's just go ahead and just dive right on in, because I really want people to understand your journey.
Yeah.
You're currently in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Duval County.
Yeah.
But you're originally from Alabama.
Yes, Huntsville, Alabama. I was born in Huntsville, Alabama, but I mainly grew up in the Madison area. That's like the good county where the good school systems is.
Got you.
And my dad always wanted me to have a good education along with my mom. So did that, and then just branched out on my own ever since.
Were either of your parents in the military?
My dad was in the Army for like 12 years.
Okay. So is that where the inspiration came for you for wanting to be in the military?
That and my grandfather as well. He was in the Navy for a good bit of time, and then I just ended up choosing the Navy. And my dad didn't want me to join the Army.
Got you.
It was just
Understood. But listen, you're in the military. Salute you for doing what you're doing, serving the country, all that good stuff. What is your job in the military?
I'm a culinary specialist. So at first, for the longest, while doing the music, I tried to keep it like under the rug, because I just only wanted to put that image out as far as like just music.
Yeah.
But then again, I was like, nobody's doing what I'm doing in the military. Like, I'm really taking days off from the military to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think too many military people doing that. And even with the talent that they got, they don't go that extra mile to do that. So this is to motivate y'all. Like, y'all that's watching, if you in the service, like, it's possible, bro. Like, I'm here right now.
That is facts. Absolutely. I really understand in life, we will find time and make time for what's important to us. Yeah. No matter what we got going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you made the time. How long you been in the military?
I've been in for 6 years now.
What do you enjoy the most about it?
I enjoy how structured I become and disciplined towards life itself and just me as a person. Sometimes my old lady be like, snap out of it, you know what I'm saying? She be like, you at home, but structure has definitely like set the tone for my life, for real.
That's funny, because when my son first came home from the military, it was the same way. He was still like, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am. Like, he was so, now he's gotten back because he's been out for a minute now, but it's like he was in that same type of non-civilian soldier mode, definitely. Have you been deployed a few times?
Yeah, so I only had one deployment.
Okay.
But I've been on like different ships and different assignments. So like I've been to Croatia, I've been to Greece, I've been to Italy, I done been to France, I done did it.
That's probably one of the most rewarding parts too, is being able to actually travel and see the world, because oftentimes we don't get an opportunity to do that in our normal everyday life, right?
Right.
Man, where was your favorite places you've been to?
I talk about Greece a lot.
Yeah.
So Greece probably.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. I'm sure it's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
What's the culture like?
They hustle. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's like the food is good, everything's authentic, but it's like the kids out there and like the older, like the elderly people, like poor wise, once they see like us, from the US, it's like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? But they'll still go out their way and get it. But I mean, they be stealing all types of stuff. So I had to make sure check my pockets.
Pickpocketing, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
That is too funny, definitely. How much longer do you plan on being in the military?
To be real, I'm just seeing what takes off first, really, whether it's music, whether it's what I'm going to school for, because I'm in college as well, and also just whatever comes out, and that's what I'm gonna go with. But yeah.
Understood. Would it be an opportunity on the table if, you know, not saying things won't work out with music, but to retire from the military? Is that ever a thought?
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I'm just being real with myself. Like, people stick to like one thing, put all the eggs in one basket. And my dad always told me, like, you know, keep the main thing. Like, keep what's, you know, paying you first, and then worry about everything else. So
yeah,
that's
that
really
is
all I've
facts.
been doing. Yeah.
100%. So let's jump over to the music side. You've been doing music for a while, but we'll say professionally for the last couple of years now.
Yeah. So I took it serious, I'll probably say, in the last 2 years. But 3 years ago when I started, it was really just like, you know, just to cope with my emotions or whatever I was going through.
Yeah.
Because I always felt like I couldn't really like express myself to people. I don't get along with prayers at all. Like, I got terrible people skills. Like,
why is that?
I don't know. It's just like, my mind is set different from people. So once I see like some flaws, some weird shit going on, like,
You back away.
Yeah.
Has it been like that for you since school? Have you always been that way around people?
Nah, I really changed when I joined the military, and I don't even want to make it sound like, kind of like when people go to jail and they come out, like, it ain't even like that. It's just like more like I was in a shell when I was at home. I really always had that dog in me, but when I left and was living by myself, it started to come out, like, and I started to really look at people different, like.
I think it probably just makes you a whole lot more aware of your surroundings, you know, and how you approach people or allow them to approach you. Right. How close you allow them to get to you, which we kind of need to be on our guard like that in life anyway, because like there's some weirdos out there.
Yeah, it is.
I don't. If I don't know you, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
Straight like that.
So 2 years ago, what made you decide that music was what you really wanted to start taking, like, on a professional level?
Just how deep I was getting with not only my words, but like, everybody say their life is a movie until you really go through what you go through in life. And I was just like, bro, I'm constantly going through something, but I felt like it was so relatable. Yeah. Why not putting out a message? And like, I was always encouraged by, like, you know, people like Rod Wave or like, you know, Tusi, just how poetic they are with their words. They not just saying it to say it. Like, sometimes they really letting people know, like, I done did that. Like, you might want to like really listen to what I'm saying. And that's why you see people at their shows crying now, because they're like, damn, like, he talking to me, like. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's safe to say that music is like a form of therapy for you.
Yeah.
Because I heard you say that it was just kind of the way you kind of were dealing with and coping with certain situations. And I feel like we all need that. We all need a form of therapy, whether it's music or if we go to the gym, whatever it is that we do, we got to have a way to cope with life, because life be life, and don't it?
Oh, yeah. For sure. Always.
What does your creative process look like? Are you a writer? Are you punching in? A little bit of both?
A little bit of both, but I write the most. I feel like my producer, shout out G-Lit, by the way, she in Virginia. I feel like when you write, your words is just more clear and it's more like, it just comes out more honest, you know what I'm saying? But when somebody just punching in, they just saying whatever, and they just, oh, did you really? No.
Listen, I commend people who can get in there and just go. Yeah. Because I can't think that fast. You know what I'm saying? Right. If I was a music artist, I'd 100% be a writer. Yeah. You know, I'd need to write it down, study it, learn it. Do you typically, when you write, do you just immediately get in the studio, or do you actually learn the lyrics, the words, before you get in there and record? Or
I think it's more professional that after you record it, learn the words too, because you still got to worry about content. Yeah. If you putting out content and you don't know the words, right, they'll take you serious. You know what I'm saying? So.
I've seen a lot of artists, because, you know, I've been doing showcases for 14 years. I've seen so many artists get up there and they don't know the words to their song. Yeah. We've even had a couple here do performances and they slick didn't know the words to their song.
It'd be like that. You kind of, not to be corny, but you kind of got to rehearse on your own, like look in the mirror or whatever. And even if you just heard it 1,000 times, you might have heard it 1,000 times, but you know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's corny at all. What I think is corny is if they don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's corny if you go to perform somewhere and you don't even know the words to your own song. It's like, what are you doing? You know, so you have to practice, you have to rehearse, you have to definitely do all that. Out of all the songs that you have released to date, which one is the most personal song for you?
Most personal, I'll probably have to say Time After Time. That was my recent single that I put out, due to the fact that, you know, time after time, you tell people this, that, and the third, and they still kind of like backdoor you or do you wrong. Yeah. So it's like you just got to focus on yourself. So I called it Time After Time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's the type of song that a lot of people are going to resonate with, relate to. That's the type of song that might have somebody cry, you know, like you said at your performance, because we all go through that type of stuff.
Right.
And unapologetically, we just got to leave some people right where they're at.
Right.
Period. Yeah. Absolutely. Which one would you say is the most turn up record you put out? Are you putting out any turn up music right now?
The most turned up record that I probably have to say that I put out actually debuted on Tubi and on Amazon. And shout out Duran from back in my city, Huntsville, Alabama. He films movies.
Yes.
And Duran Isabel, that's his name. He films movies and just puts certain people on the map as far as in the city. And he travels and and one day my dad was like, "Hey, I know him from back in the day. You might want to DM him." And my pops talked to him. I talked to him, and came out with a movie called Homecoming. Had a lot of dope people in it.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. So yeah.
Congratulations. That's big right there.
Yeah.
That's one of the goals as an artist, is to get your music into film, commercials, video games, etc. That sync licensing, because that's another whole check right there.
Yeah.
100%. So the movie is called Homecoming, you said?
Yeah, it's called Homecoming, and it's on Tubi, Amazon, and his personal website on his Instagram. His name is Duran Isabel.
Got you. Understood. So you've had the opportunity to showcase your talent in front of the Atlantic Records A&Rs.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience.
So his name was Jeff Sledge. Yeah, that's his name, Jeff Sledge. Before I actually knew who he was, submitted my stuff on direct to exec, coast to coast. And they emailed me back. They was like, you do this, come out to Atlanta, and we'll see what you got. So it was a long line. Like, I never really thought that many people in the world were really was doing the same thing. So I was like, all right, for real, that's crazy. And then my boy Monte, who is always with me, like my day one, he was with me. He was like, bro, it's a lot of people. So finally my name get called, and it was serious. You're in a separate room in a studio, but yet you can kind of see them getting their music reviewed, honestly. And some people's coming out mad, some people is happy. You got kids in there. So I was like, man, that's crazy. I'm really doing it. But this is the steps I was taking to really, you think your music hard, let's see. And so finally I showcased it, professional the whole time, of course. And the same day I was riding back to, because I was living in Virginia at the time, Norfolk. And I got an email, and he was like, bro, got a perfect score. And I was like, what?
Okay.
So I looked at it 10 out of 10,
That's
marketability, everything. So I was like, that's when I knew in my head, I don't need nobody else or prove nothing to nobody else that I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. Excuse me. And I think those opportunities are very, very important, that you get in front of people that you don't know, so they can give you that unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything to lose whether they tell you the truth or lie to you, right? Yeah. So they might as well tell you the truth, and you got a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get to do multiple songs, or was it a certain time frame?
It was a time frame, and it was only one song. You could pay extra to do more than one song.
Yeah.
But I just did one because I felt like the one I had was the one. So.
You know, what OG always be saying at the showcases, one song, 3 minutes could change your life.
Yeah.
Don't get up there and do 4 or 5 songs. You're going to kill yourself.
Right.
Because people if they don't know you like that, they don't want to hear 4 or 5 songs. They want to hear your best song.
Exactly.
So you did that. You came, you showed up. Going into that situation, what was your mindset of what you wanted to get out of it?
Going into that, after that happened, I was just like, how can TreDay be independently marketable on his own, while doing the military? So it was a battle at first, because I was trying to balance time, as far as even Bigger was hitting me up hey, I want you to come out here or whatever. I'm telling him this, that, and the third, I can't military, and I was like, damn. But eventually we gonna have another opportunity.
No, facts, absolutely. Like I said, just let me know when you're ready, and or if you have his contact information, just hit him up and make it happen. Yeah. Absolutely. You also had the opportunity to meet with Jose Guapo through the Ugly Money Music Fest. Yeah. Shout out to Nietzsche. Yeah. P Nice. Yeah. Who gonna check me? That's my homie, man. What was that like for you?
Yeah, Nietzsche cool. So I already knew about Ugly Money through one of your birthday batches, Yellow Boy.
Yellow Boy gone wild.
And he cool, for sure.
He's so dope.
He humble, and we contact each other time to time, where I'll say something, or I'll comment on one of his videos or songs, and he'll say something. But yeah, seeing him, and they had an event later on down the road, and I had no idea who was gonna be there. Like some people from Outkast or it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And Jose Guapo was there. That hit hard for me because I've been listening to Guapo since middle school. I'm talking Yo Guapo, yeah. Like Guapo was him, yeah. At one point in time, he still is, but he just doing his thing like on his own. So when I met him up, close, of course, he got the security stuff like that. I couldn't really chop it up with him, but if I could have spoke my piece, I'd have been like, hey, bro, like.
So what would you say to him? Say it on that camera.
Hey, Jose, like, if you watching this, I'd be like, hey, bro, like, not only I've been listening to you since you been around Migos, but like, bro, like, you was him, like, for sure, like, man.
Definitely. And I love the fact that you pay homage to these other artists, because some artists won't do that.
Yeah.
They'll be like, secretly think that they're dope, but they will never say anything, which is weird to me.
So me personally coming in the music game, I don't have like, I'm gonna be real, like, I'm telling y'all now, I have no music knowledge, no nothing. I don't even know how to record a song on my own. But I will say, if it's in you and you know what you can do, like, pop your shit, bro. And that's what I'm doing right now. Like, it's just in my blood. Like, the family background I come from, anything that we do, it comes with something. So I was just like, I'm gonna just keep pushing. And I'm so confident in myself. Like, if I could DM Rod Wave or Boston, like, I know somebody gonna be like, yeah, like but unfortunately you can't do that to everybody because people say that and they waste time. But me, I ain't gonna be scared.
Exactly, because there's a lot of artists out here who are just in the way.
Yeah.
I say it. Some of these artists out here are literally just in the way. They don't have their business together.
Right.
They're unprofessional. They don't read anything that's presented to them.
Right.
They're in the way. But it's the ones like that who just want to jump in your DM and dump links or whatever. They don't introduce themselves or whatever. And that's what clogs up the pipeline for artists like yourself, who are really out here getting to it. That if you did DM, it could be about business.
Oh, yeah.
But it makes the people like the Rod Waves and stuff say, I ain't checking none of that.
Right.
Because they get all that weirdo stuff that comes along with it too.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is the biggest sacrifice that you've had to make so far for your music career?
Time.
Yeah.
Time.
Man, like, you said that quick.
Yeah. Because, it would be nice to, like, just sit around and be with my girl all day and, and whatever. And don't get me wrong, I still make time. Because, you still got to make time for people that, you want to make time for. But it's hard because this life is ongoing. And everything that I got going requires time, like, bottom line.
I think that anybody who's in your situation, you're military, you do music, you got a relationship, you got a whole personal life.
Right.
Time's gonna be spread thin. That's just what it is, But like you said, you make time for what's important to you. And who is important to you?
My girl, of course, my family, my pops, my mom. I still got a little sister. Just people that fed into me. My mama G.
Yeah.
A lot of people. My grandparents, it's a whole list. I can go on. If I miss some people, like, went on purpose, but
charges to the game, not to his heart.
Yeah, on God, yeah.
What do you feel like is like one of your top qualities that as an artist that really makes you stand out and different from other artists out here?
Being melodic through pain. Like you got, for example, you got No Cap that can do that naturally without even picking up a pen. But like, I just feel like as my own person, like, the hooks are always going to be catchy, number one. And then not just that, like, the way just my words stick to each topic, like, it's just natural. Like, and I don't get me wrong, it took me a little while. Because the sound wasn't there. But eventually when I found it, I was like, this is what I'm going to stick with. So
you say sticking on topic to that particular song, but from song to song, do your themes typically change, or does that stay the same as what you're talking about in your music?
It's based on really how I feel.
Gotcha.
Or if I remember, like, what I've gone through or something that I think, okay, they didn't heard this, they want something fun now. Because a lot of, you see what's going on. Like, even, shout out Super Big Poke, he from my city. That Tell On Me song, he from Huntsville. And, that's catchy. People need stuff like that. And that's an old song. Like,
I agree.
People don't even realize, like, but it's always that one song that's, they'll catch up and it'll blow. Like, that's how it goes. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk to the young, or I know you're young yourself, but I'm talking about these youngins coming up, just starting out in the business. What would be the top 2 to 3 things that you would say that they have to do that's important to jumpstart their music career?
Jumpstart the music. I would have to say have a budget together, because everybody in the industry gonna bug you about a budget. Like literally, like I didn't even know what a budget was until I started doing it. I was just blowing through whatever. And then number 2, I would have to say, like, have your music together, like hard drive, all of that. Like, stay ready, because you never know how any situation is gonna be presented to you. So I'll say that's the top 2.
Man.
Yeah. Always stay ready.
Great ones. Y'all listen to what he said.
Yeah.
There's a million more, but those are definitely top 2 tier ones that they have to follow. Absolutely. Because I deal with it on my end often. And I will work with people with their budget. Right. But it's like, this is a business. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just coming into this think you're going to get stuff for free. You sadly mistaken. You're in the wrong business. Yeah. You know, that's just facts. I still have to pay for a lot of stuff that I do. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this a long time. What do you feel like is something right now that TreDay needs to work on a little bit more as an artist?
That's a good question, honestly.
Accountability.
Accountability for sure. But I don't think I've really reflected on what I need. I would say marketability for sure. Okay. Like I said, doing this on my own because my situation is a little different. Finding the right market campaign for myself, I would have to say, like, I'm working on that for sure.
And that can be difficult.
Yeah.
That can be definitely difficult. You know, I think some of the top things that you can do is, you know, checking your analytics to see where people are tuning in from the most. Yeah. Oh, you got Dallas tuning in? Let's go focus on Dallas. Right. We got ATL checking in. Let's focus on ATL. What about like social media and stuff? Are you good with the content posting on there, or you need to brush up on that a little bit too? Because a lot of artists do.
Yeah, the content isn't really a problem. It's just more like sometimes I run out of ideas, or sometimes I do need that extra hand. Kind of like how everybody has it. Like, you know, that cameraman that's just always ready to go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need that. If I had that and somebody that's willing to travel, you see what I'm saying? Because I met somebody cool in Jacksonville. Shout out DB 2 times, bro. Like, he did my first music video for Let 'Em Hate. Yeah. It came out beautiful. If I could have him on the road with me everywhere I went, I would love that. But not only does he have his own stuff going on, but he kind of does something similar to what I do as far as my actual like career. So,
got you. Yeah. Understood. And you're absolutely right. Like, if you could literally have someone with a camera in their hand walk around with you at all times, man, that would be beautiful, documented. But in the meantime, get you like one of these vlogging cameras and you could do it yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you could set up and, you know, get a lot of content yourself, because if you don't document it, it didn't happen.
Right, right. Simple as that. Seeing is believing.
That is facts. People want to see it. You could tell them all day long, man, I did this, this, and this. Yeah. If they don't see it, they don't believe it. Right. And they don't care. Right. You got to document everything that you do. Big facts. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the music that you are working on right now. You've got your most recent EP is Life of TreDay 2.
Yeah.
How long has that been out?
That's been out for a year now. And it's probably my best work right now, as far as in the moment best work, because the time. And shout out to my, you know, my partners, GBG, bro. Shout out G, shout out Drizzy, shout out Monte. They literally, like, we was in the bedroom and they like, bro, now say this, say that. Like, and it was just crazy, like, how it came out. I didn't think my work from start to finish, including the intro. The intro even shocked me, just the way I was sounding and the time and learning the craft. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So what do you feel like really separated you? Like, let's dive in from previous work that you put out, because you said that was your best work.
Like previous work, like the best I dived in, like.
Yeah, so you said part 2 was your best work. Is it because of like your lyricism got better, your delivery got better, production got better?
So production, delivery, and I'll have to say like the vibe. Like, it wasn't just all like, cause paying music is cool, but like it was just more like, all right, what is Trey? Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? So like, it just stood out, and it just, it paved the way for me, because it set up certain opportunities that I didn't even know was, possible. So
yeah. Speaking on, you said, what is Trey? Who is Trey? Let me ask you this. What would be something about TreDay that would maybe surprise people that they don't know, whether it's something personal or business wise that you don't mind sharing?
Well, I mean, I felt like the military was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really speak on that, so that's another thing.
He a whole military man, y'all.
Yeah. And I'm a cook at that in the profession. And then, I don't know. I'm still a regular person at the day. So it's just like, I don't really have. But those are probably the top 2 right there.
Listen, I didn't know about the culinary part. That was a surprise to me. Yeah. Do you focus on one style of cooking, or are you open to it all?
I'm open to it all, but as far as a ship or, you know, land based, we call it shore or whatever, you just trying to feed the crew. So
I got you.
It's cool. Like, the food can be good, like, depending on who's making it, but we just trying to get them folks through the line.
Okay, on the personal side, what is your favorite thing to whip up? Like, what can you really chef?
Pasta. Pasta.
Okay.
And, you know, chilies, you know, anything in a crock pot or pan, skillet, whatever. Like, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Do you think that's something that you want to pursue further as well? I know earlier on you said you're just kind of seeing which one goes where, but I mean, would you also want to pursue that outside the military as well?
On a business level, possibly.
Yeah.
But I don't, no. Cooking, no. Like, I love to cook, but, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, I'm going to cook for everyone.
I got you. Understood. Would it lead into perhaps opening a restaurant or anything like that? Okay.
Like, yeah, restaurants or, you know, maybe a vendor, like, truck or whatever.
Yeah, food truck or something.
As
Yeah.
long as I'm not getting my hands dirty. I might whip something up to be like, yeah, I'm supporting, but, yeah, just revenue.
What do you feel like was the most important thing that you did or are still working on to really jumpstart your career and get that buzz popping behind your name?
Networking.
Yeah.
Networking, number one. Networking with you and just Atlanta itself.
Yeah.
For some reason, ATL was just the number one place where I always had something going. Even in my streams and music, like, I was getting more of my streams out here than, you know, back home. Then back home, I was getting streams and, you know, really mainly networking for sure.
Got you. Yeah. It's one of the most important things. Yeah. I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again. Money or relationships will put you in places that money cannot.
Yeah.
Period. You have to build those solid relationships with people. Build a rapport with them. Important. Who are some of the people, you know, and I thank you. You mentioned me, you mentioned Bigga, but who are some other people that's come across your path in your career that's been beneficial to you and, you know, maybe been a pivotal part of you leveling up?
Receiving game from Yellow Boy, Nietzsche, Jeff Sledge from Atlantic. It's a lot of people. If I forgot you, you know, it's all love. But, yeah, those people right there.
Definitely. You're also interested in trading options in the stock market.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that because that's a big one right there. You got to have other streams and other forms of income, whether it's passive income or whatever it may be. Tell us about how you got interested in that.
Yeah, so my uncles and my dad has always, you know, pushed me at an early age to be like, hey, bro, like, eventually look into, you know, the market because the market, you know, we're going to need that. As you can see, like, you know, a lot of political stuff going on. So obviously we do need that.
Sure.
And it's just good. I'm doing it for the long term to make sure my own family is good and myself. But, yeah, I definitely want to have investments, not just, you know, hoping that something pays you. You know what I'm saying? You need something that's going to, in your sleep, like, work.
Absolutely. It's such a great point because, you know, I know you obviously have the military and, you know, you'll be set from that as well. But for people out here who are straight entrepreneurs, there is no retirement place and plan. You have to create one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you haven't worked a day job and built up some Social Security income and maybe a 401k, there is no retirement place. So it's like you have to figure out a way because we don't want to work till we're 80. Mm-hmm. Come 65, maybe earlier, we want to retire. We want to be able to sit down. So you have to come up with creative ways to draw that income coming in and be able to stash it away. Like you said, sit on it.
Yeah.
So definitely, I commend you for that 100%.
But being an entrepreneur, that's where your team comes from also. You need your team.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Listen, shout out to Jay Fresh. I couldn't do a lot of the stuff I do without him. He's taught me a lot. He helps me a lot. You know, you got to have a solid team around you. Same thing with Bigga, you know, definitely. So let's talk about some of the current music. We talked about Life of TreDay too. We talked about Time After Time. That record right there is your most personal song, you said. Mm-hmm. What do you feel like the reception you've been getting back off of that record's been like?
It was good. But what's funny is even with releasing that, people still refer to Life of TreDay too. And my hardest song on there, in my opinion, was Cold Hearted.
Got you.
Due to the fact that it was just the most, like, not only upbeat, but it was just like, okay, he can kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be different, versatile. I just want to show versatility as being an artist. I don't really just want to be in one lane. I want to be in kind of like a few categories. Kind of like, I think it's dope how Tusi can not only make music the way he does, but he knows how to record music.
Right.
And not too many artists know how to even, you know what I'm saying? So I think if you know how to do that, yeah.
I agree. As an artist, you know, learn how to record yourself. And I'm not saying completely count out recording studios, but there may be times where your engineer's not available and you still have something to get off your chest. You know, you want to be able to record yourself, or it may become full-time that you're recording yourself.
Right.
Then you could maybe dive into the mixing and mastering if that interests you as, you know, as well, but at least know how to record yourself.
Yeah.
100%. What about on the production side? You ever have any desire to learn how to make beats?
So it's funny. I guess music always been in my life because as a kid, in like I think middle school or elementary school, I was a part of a little band. I had a big obsession with drumline, so I was always beating on the, you know, percussion drum, the snare drum, and I thought that was dope. Then I got into beats, but I never really took that. I guess I was too young to hit somebody up and be like, hey, I want to do this. But music always been, I always attached to music like since forever.
Yeah.
Like a little iPod, little MP3, like always been involved with music. And then my dad, you know, he did a little something with music. My uncle, you know, he did something with music. Like, music has always been around. Like,
I love it.
Yeah.
What's your biggest lesson learned so far in this music industry?
Idolizing, I have to say. Like, you got idols, and then when you finally meet them, it's like, damn, like, they are who they are, but they not really personally who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to just be your own person. And then if they rock with you, they rock with you. If they don't, like, hey, take it to the chin, keep pushing. Because, I mean, they already, in their head, they already got it solidified. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I learned for sure.
And we just got to keep in mind they're human beings too.
Yeah, you can't be a fan though in this industry. Like,
nah.
If you act like a fan, they definitely gonna be like, boy, your ass.
That is facts. You have to approach them just like they're another human being. I absolutely had this exact scenario because there's a very, very famous person that goes to my gym, and I go to a very small gym, and I see why he goes there because he doesn't want to be bothered. So I knew for a long time who it was. I just never approached him because I didn't want to come off. Till one day I just, you know, dapped him up and I said, man, salute to you. Now we cool. We talk all the time in there. And he even said, man, I appreciate how you approach the situation. Cause I'm like, I know he gets people constantly in his doggone face. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to realize they're human too. And oftentimes it's like the way we come off to them can be kind of weird because they're like, you ain't got to do all that. Just approach me on a normal level. You know, I'm a human being too. Yeah. How you going to handle them situations when you get to that level? People come up to you, oh, TreDay.
I mean, I talk about it all the time with my old lady, like, or even think about it personally, because I watch YouTube a lot.
Sure.
Like, seeing how people vlog. I love vlogs. Like,
yeah,
seeing
me
how,
too.
you know, day in the life or whatever. Like, I'll still do everything normal. But if I get to a point where I got to approach the situation kind of similar to, I'm going to still be, you know, regular. I'm not really an asshole or nothing, but.
Yeah. You will have to really, I think, handle every situation differently on it, depending on how the situation presents itself.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that security though, for sure.
Security. I know that's right. Yeah, because you can't have a cookie cutter response to everything because every situation presents itself differently to you. 100%, man. What's keeping you grounded? What's keeping you humble? What's keeping you motivated and pushing?
God, number one.
Yeah.
God, number one. Talking to my family.
Yeah.
And just staying focused on the game plan. Like, because I've been on the drawing board and looking at all this for a minute. So it's just like, you know, everybody from all over is on platforms like this, but it's like, I want to be known as, when I left or was on this platform, like, okay, he took them steps and now because he did it different, not because, oh, it's industry. No, like, this is something that's going to set you in place. You see what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't skip any steps.
No.
None of them. You cannot skip any steps in this business. People come into this business and they want to go from step 1 to step 80 to step 100. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
We have to literally, we can't skip the struggle because we're going to struggle with certain things, not only in life, but in this industry as well. But we can't skip any steps along the way because I feel like that's almost hustling backwards. When you skip these 3 steps, those could be the most 3 important steps of your career. Now you fumbled and you're back to square one.
I mean, hey, to everybody out there that's, you know, hustling, like, when I first started, like, really getting into music, seeing how much it costs and everything, I was door dashing, Ubering. I ain't ashamed to say that. Like, hustle is a hustle. Like, if you can get 10, get 20, 30, 40, like, keep going. Like,
listen, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Don't ever be ashamed if you got to keep a day job. Like, people want to quit their job and just run and do this full time. And I'm like, I worked a day job until I was 38 years old, until I was able to transition into doing this full time. You know, I'm about to be 51. You know, I'm not ashamed to tell people my age and where I'm at in life, you know, but it took me a long time to get to that point.
And that's the trick. People in this industry would make it seem like they just doing this all day. And that's when I opened my eyes and was like, they got something going on the side.
That's facts. They out there door dashing too.
So I was like,
stop the cap.
I was like,
I think I seen you deliver food to me one day. Stop lying.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, bro, like, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And even though I don't like it, like, I don't want to be in the military forever. Like, I don't. But it's, you feel me, it's doing what it's doing for me. So it's like, just keep going. And then eventually when I get to that point, then I'm gonna be like, all right, bro, like, here we go.
Absolutely. You got to weigh it out. What's more humiliating, having a job or having to borrow money from someone?
Having to borrow.
Exactly.
I don't like asking nobody.
Me neither. I'll never, like, I will figure out a way. I would get out there and DoorDash before I did that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people got to think about that. It's never humiliating to say, hey, I got a job. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. So a lot of these artists, they feel like that this is easy business.
You're
it's
right.
definitely not easy, and it's definitely not free.
You're right.
What legacy do you want to leave through your music?
Ooh, that's a good one. Legacy. I'm still kind of making my legacy to be real, so I can't really say what I want to leave. But eventually, if I do get it to that point of leaving something behind, even to my own, just being real, learning the craft, networking, like really, you know, brushing elbows. Like, okay, like he was on this platform, but he jumped all the way because he was willing to be grounded. And just really just being real with myself, honestly. Like, that's what I'm going to leave behind, because that's what brought me here. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it. Yeah. What is your purpose?
My purpose is to motivate. I dwell on my past a lot, but I just use it through examples. And now my present, which is doing a little bit better, so that way people don't have to make the same mistake that I made.
I love it.
Yeah, so.
I love it. So not necessarily dwelling on anymore, but using it in a positive way to educate people on, hey, maybe don't do this or do it this way. Yeah. Maybe don't make a mistake that I made.
Right.
I love that. That's hard, man. Anything else you got coming up in the works that we need to know about? Another project, perhaps?
Hey, Life of TreDay 3 is in the works. Just want y'all to know that. If you didn't know, now you know. Life of TreDay 3 will be on the way. And I got a lot coming, honestly. New content, still working on my YouTube. It's a lot coming, for sure. New singles coming up, actually, possibly at the end of this month.
Okay.
Can't really speak on it right now because, you know what I'm saying, but yeah.
Understood. So if they want to keep up with you to see all these new releases, where can they follow you?
Hey, everybody follow me at real_TreDay_payday on Instagram. It's the same thing as far as my YouTube, but it's official.TreDay on YouTube. And as far as that, Instagram. Who
do you want to give thanks to for just loving you and supporting you through your journey, or maybe even a shout out?
It's a lot of people. I'll have to say, you know, my pops, my mom, my girl, you know, my whole squad, GBG, you know, shout out Drizzy, shout out G, shout out Monte. It's a lot of people, for sure. If I skipped you, like I said, I ain't forget about you, but yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Got one last question for you. We got TreDay in the building. Tell them one more time where we at.
Hey, industries. TreDay, Big GB. Hey, y'all industry's most
wanted.
The big one, not the little one. Tell them what makes TreDay the industry's most wanted.
I'm hungry. And like I said, I've been brushing elbows in ATL for a little bit. Nobody knows me. I'm going to just keep it real like that. But people see what you're doing, though. And that come a long way. Even in your, you know, DMs or, you know, your stories or whatever, people see what you're doing.
That's facts. Yeah. They watch, and they may not always say anything. Yeah. But trust me, they are watching.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Good energy, positive vibes. Let's get this performance popping.
Yeah.
Definitely. We out of here, y'all.
All right.
Time after time, I fell out with people, ain't with no strings attached. Too many times I gave people chances, but they stabbed me in the back. I ain't got time for no more swings. I just look like